News Radio This Week.
Wimal, Weerawansa and Udaya Gammanpila were sacked from their ministerial portfolios on the 3rd of March by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa according to powers vested in him through the Constitution. MP Gammanpila held the post of Minister of Energy while parliamentarian Wimal Weerawansa held the post of Minister of Industries previously. Minister Gamini Lokuge, who previously held the post of Minister of Power, was appointed as the new Minister of Energy. Accordingly, the portfolio of Minister of Power was awarded to Minister Pamitra Banniarachi, who previously held the post of Minister of Transport. Parliamentarian S.B. Dissanayake has been appointed as the new Minister of Industries, the position which was previously held by parliamentarian Wimal Weerawansa. Sri Lanka has stressed that the evidence-gathering mechanism established by the UNHRC resolution at the 46th session creates obstacles to the reconciliation efforts and polarises society. Delivering a statement at the high-level segment of the 49th regular session of the UN Human Rights Council on the 1st of March in Geneva, Foreign Minister G.L. Peters said in March 2021, the Council voted on Resolution 46/1, which was tabled without the consent of Sri Lanka as the country concerned. He said the evidence-gathering mechanism established under OP 6 of the Resolution 46/1 is unhelpful to the people of Sri Lanka, will polarize Sri Lankan society and adversely affect economic development, peace and harmony at a challenging time. The International Monetary Fund, noting that Sri Lanka is facing mounting challenges including public debt that has risen to unsustainable levels, urged the government to restore macroeconomic stability, raising income tax and VAT rates and minimising exemptions. Concluding the 2021 Article 4 consultation with Sri Lanka, the executive directors agreed that a tighter monetary policy stance is needed to contain rising inflationary pressures while phasing out the central bank's direct financing of budget deficits. They also recommended gradual return to a market determining and flexible exchange rate to facilitate external adjustments and rebuild international reserves. Archbishop of Colombo Cardinal Ranjith called on Pope Francis on the 28th of February. The meeting was held at the St. Peter's Basilica at the Vatican. The Cardinal discussed investigations into the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks with the Pope. Meanwhile, on the 2nd of March, Cardinal Ranjith held discussions with UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Michelle Bachelet in Geneva, Switzerland. The 45-minute-long discussion centered around the Easter attacks and ways to ensure justice for the victims of the bombings. The term of the Presidential Task Force on One Country, One Law was extended by 3 months with effect from the 28th of February. The task force was established by the President on the 26th of October 2021. The 13-member task force headed by Venerable Galagodathe Gnanasaratera is vested with powers to study the implementation of the concept One Country, One Law within Sri Lanka and prepare a draft act and study acts and amendments that have already been prepared by the Ministry of Justice, and also to determine if there are suitable amendments and submit proposals as deemed appropriate. The Supreme Court was informed that the Employees Provident Fund, the Employees Trust Fund and 11 other funds will not be subject to a 25% surcharge through provisions of the proposed surcharge tax draft bill. The Attorney General made the submission when the Fundamental Rights Petition filed by the General Secretary of the Samagi Janabalawege parliamentarian Ranjith Bandara challenging the surcharge tax draft bill was taken up for consideration on the 2nd of March. The petition called for an order to be issued stating the bill must be passed in Parliament with a 2/3 majority and at a public mandate to become an act, as it is not in line with the Constitution. The government extended the validity period of tourist visas of Russian and Ukraine nationals who are currently in Sri Lanka by 2 months, effective from the 1st of March. Accordingly, the Cabinet of Ministers granted approval for the proposal. The Cabinet paper was presented by Minister of Tourism Prasanna Ranatunga, considering the ongoing Russia-Ukraine crisis. The Tourism Ministry has also said no charges will be levied for the visa extension. At present, 11,463 Russian nationals and 3,993 Ukrainians are in Sri Lanka on tourist visas. Civilians continue to make their way out of Ukraine and into neighboring countries as the bombardment of key cities by Russia intensifies. The UN has said that more than 1 million people have now fled Ukraine since the conflict began 7 days ago. Russian forces have gained control of the key port city of Kherson on Ukraine's southern coast, making it the first major city to fall. Shelling continues in the strategic port city of Mariupol, and the mayor there says that Russian forces have cut off electricity, food, water water and heating. Meanwhile, President Vladimir Putin claimed in a televised speech that the invasion was going according to plan. At a press conference, President Volodymyr Zelensky told NATO, "If you do not have the power to close the skies, then give me planes," and also asked Putin for direct talks. Opener Pathum Nissanka climbed to 9th in the latest men's T20 player rankings for batsman following his heroics in the recently concluded series against India. Nissanka scored an impressive 75 in the second game of the series, and he was rewarded with a 6th spot rise in the rankings.
News Radio This Week.